Hello fellow gamers, this is Dark Kirius and I'm here with a video with my thoughts about Destiny 2. The reason I decided to make this video is because I saw a lot of toxic behavior of people towards Destiny 2, which I think is completely undeserved. In this video I will give you my thoughts on the pros and cons of Destiny 2 and my opinion of is it worth buying. The most often repeating complaint that I heard from other gamers on YouTube is that there is simply not enough content in Destiny 2. But I must say that after playing the game for about 2 months, this is simply not true. Of course, if you're a hardcore player who plays 5 hours per day, then the content will be done in about 2 weeks and you will be bored to death. But if you're like me with a family and work, then even after 2 months of playing a few hours each week, mostly on the weekends, you will still have stuff to do. In fact, when I heard that in December 5th a new DLC is coming out, I was a bit upset because I still didn't have a chance to finish all the content. And so if you are a hardcore player or a true raider as we would call you, then Destiny might not be for you. But if you are just a casual player that enjoys gaming, I would think that Destiny is perfect for you. Another blessed difference from Destiny 1 is the removal of gear with random stats. Now again, I understand why the hardcore players would complain about that, because they have the possibility to invest much more time than casual players in the game, and then they want to have something out of it, like for example better gear. But for me, this is a nightmare, and I don't want to have the same nightmares that I have from playing Diablo, when 99% of the loot that I get is a complete garbage. So in contrast to that, now almost every piece of loot that you will get in Destiny 2 actually has a use. In addition, I also know that once I got the items that I want, I don't actually need to farm anymore, and now I can actually do stuff in the game that I enjoy doing. From my experience, some games are adjusted to casual players by dumbing the game down, but I didn't see this in Destiny 2, so I think that Bungie actually made a great work of adapting this to casual players, but in the same time maintaining the difficulty of Destiny. I, for instance, really hate it in MMOs when you are farming just for the purpose of farming. In Destiny 2, the farming process actually has an end, and this makes it much easier for me to go and farm. Another complaint that I often hear is that Destiny 2 is not correctly priced. Now here I think we have to distinguish between two things. Between fair price and the correct price. I would say that the correct price is how much people are actually willing to pay. And since I bought the game for full price, I imagine that the game is actually priced correctly. Is it fairly priced though? I'm not so sure. As far as content concerns, Destiny 2 has the same amount of content as a DLC of Destiny 1 would have, and so I believe that a fair price would be a price of a DLC in Destiny 1, like Rise of Iron for example. You could say then that, but listen, it's still a different game. There are precedents in the gaming industry, like for example in World of Warcraft when Blizzard gave the Cataclysm add-on, they completely changed the vanilla WoW, and yet they still priced the game just as they would price their other expansions and not as a brand new game. And so I feel that Bungie might have been a bit too greedy when they priced Destiny 2. That said, I don't regret buying it for the full price. Now, two major problems that I had in Destiny 1 were first, very small and constrained world, and the second, complete absence of any story whatsoever. For the entire Destiny 1 game, I couldn't understand what I was doing and why I was doing it. These two problems were fairly well solved in Destiny 2. The world feels bigger and more open, and now there is a normal story that you can actually follow and understand what is the point of what you're doing. That said, I must admit that the world is still small in my opinion, and the story could be better. But to be honest, as long as the world is not as small as it was in Destiny 1, and there is at least some making sense story, then it's not a problem anymore, because I don't think that you're supposed to take Destiny 2 series. It's mostly about shooting aliens in the face, and this Destiny does incredibly well. Each weapon feels interesting and unique, the shooting experience is awesome, and there is basically no useless weapons in the game. Now, in terms of different aspects of the game, the PvE content seems very interesting. The world has exploration elements. A lot of time when you roam around and just shoot aliens, you find different caves or structures that you would like to get into and explore, and in a lot of those times it will end up with you getting some interesting loot. The public events are very cool, especially the collaboration with other Guardians. One thing that was really missing in Destiny 1 was the looking for group feature, which is finally got added into Destiny 2. And so now, even if you don't have a clan or enough friends that play, you can still do high-level content in Destiny. I must also say that, at least from my experience, the Destiny 2 community is very friendly, and so you shouldn't be afraid to join the looking for group to go into a heroic strike or nightfall, in other words, or maybe even a raid. From the PvP perspective, I must say that the matchmaking is done incredibly well. All the matches that I joined so far seem to be matched very well and were very interesting. The fights in Destiny 2 are longer than fights in Destiny 1, if we're talking one-on-one shootouts in PvP, and so it gives the possibility to be more tactical and more interesting. I really loved both of the aspects in Destiny, both the PvP and the PvE. I think that both of them are incredibly fun, and I just like doing them. And what's even better is that everybody is playing on equal grounds, because now everybody can have the same weapons. It's not very hard now in game to get the top weapon for PvP, so the competition is much more fair. To summarize, I must say that I'm sure that Destiny is not for everyone. If you are a hardcore player that likes to play long hours and then see the results of your invested time in being better geared and better equipped, then I'm sure you wouldn't like Destiny. But if you're just a casual, more even towards the hardcore player who wants occasionally to play and have fun, then I think Destiny is a good game. That said, no one is perfect, and Destiny has some problems. As mentioned before, the world is fairly small and the lore is not well developed, although the campaign is very fun. In conclusion, I would give Destiny 8 meows out of 10. Feel free to leave a comment under this video to let me know if you agree or disagree with my opinion. Hope you enjoyed the video.